Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the South Park Center, and I'm delighted to be joined with Polly, who's come all the way from Canada to be with us. Thank you, Polly, for being with us. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your film, but for those that haven't seen Slump, let's take a look at a clip.
Sydney, good to see you again.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Is there anything else I should know before we do this?
Well, I may hit on you.
Come on, man, she's perfect.
I'm here with Chase Owens, resident number 69.
Number 9.
Oh, my mistake. What?
The video's gone viral.
Cat House is having a keg in this.
He's so into you.
Comments that are on Chase's page, they're like a cult.
Polly, thank you so much for bringing your film to us. It was so great to see it on the big screen. For those that haven't seen your film, tell us the brief synopsis.
So Slump is basically an 18-minute dramedy that follows Sydney, and she's a plus-size university broadcasting student, and she makes a comedy video on her school's baseball team, and it goes viral. But then she unwittingly becomes the victim of slump busting, which is where an underperforming player, and in our instance from the university baseball team, targets her, and that's basically targeting like a plus-size, unattractive woman to have sex with to get them out of a performance slump. So yeah, it
is just, I mean, it's grotesque, like, you know, just the nature of this whole thing and how cruel it is. Now I know you joined this project with the writer and star of the show, but tell us a little bit about how you came together with this project and where the inspiration came for the film as well.
So the inspiration was that this film was originally a feature screenplay that Lara Deglin had written, and it was to, she was highlighting an incident of slump busting that she personally experienced. So yeah, she basically wanted to bring voice to that instance, right, and just sort of give it a higher profile and like give people the language around this like really misogynistic, like negative experience, and just sort of own that experience as well, right, and not become the victim of it and silenced by it. So but then of course, you know, when she got the funding and like COVID hit, so that basically like made the budget not seem as viable as a feature film. So she then rewrote it to be a short film and using it as like a proof of concept for the feature film. And then as the proof of concept short film, she was wanting to find the right voice and the right director to come on board, and like we had like a mutual friend who was Jennifer Pilak, who was my actress from my film last year, New Filmmakers Witchcraft. So yeah, we all got introduced and we all gelled, and then I came on board and I read that script and I was like, I need to tell this story. Like I want to tell this story and help get it out there. So it was just, you know, like beautiful kismet moment where we all knew each other and just having the passion and the drive. I wanted to help her tell the story. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. It was your second film with New Filmmakers. That's right. First one in person though, right? Yes. Yes. How nice to be doing that again. Well, you know, I think that the film touches on just such an important, you know, important subject, because, you know, this is existing probably in every country around the world, and again, it's so disgusting what some people are doing to each other. How did, like, aside from obviously this really was so well written, so well acted, kind of how did you want to sort of like, how was the rehearsal experience with this? Because I mean, you've got some quite poignant things and some quite touching and tender things. Like, how was that approach for the director, and then from your standpoint, like, what was kind of your job, the hardest part of your position or job as well?
I would say the hardest part was just being authentic and true to Lara's story and bringing that to life and doing it justice, right? So, and like where I identified with it is that like I'm not a larger girl, etc. So I haven't had that sort of discrimination, but I am biracial. I'm half Chinese. I have an accent, so I'm Australian. So I'm an immigrant. So basically I've had those prejudices. So I could identify with that idea of having the hurt and the shame around instances like that. So I sort of was able to channel those experiences to understand and have that empathy for Lara's story and for the story we were putting into the slump. And then, like, you know, with the creative side of it, you know, the blocking and the performances, it was just, we did give ourselves time to rehearse and be able to create those character arcs and, you know, have those discoveries, which is really like beneficial and great. And
yeah,
and it was really beautiful moments. Like at the end, for example, when, you know, poor Sydney is like crying because the realization of that moment hits her and everything. Like it was such a beautiful, poignant moment on set where, you know, we just got everybody to calm down and just sort of take a deep breath and just, you know, I felt like I was there helping, you know, almost holding Lara's hand through that process and to get that, and then trying to create that safe space so she could connect emotionally and whatnot. And it was really beautiful. I cried on set, and I think that's a great indicator of a great performance, right? That you're moved even on the day. So
I mean, she's a great performer. Like I just, you know, I'm glad you mentioned feature because I wanted more of just her performance, and she says so much without saying anything, you know, and I was just amazed by that. For a production standpoint, like what was kind of, I mean, obviously there was COVID, so that was a lot going on, but did you kind of face any sort of challenges, like, you know, kind of on set, or what things maybe were you surprised at that actually kind of worked in your favor as well?
I feel like we're actually, it was basically COVID was probably the biggest challenge. Like everything else seemed to be in place. Like she had, you know, a lot of the cast was already secured and whatnot. And then I was able to cast a few people that I wanted, like Ben Dextrace, who is, you know, our slump buster guy, unfortunately. But he has that beautiful depth where you feel like he's like leading the audience on, like this could be a genuine romance. But then, you know, he succumbs to the peer pressure to be using Sydney, unfortunately. And then, but it's mainly just COVID and just having this COVID safety officer, and then realizing a percentage of our budget had to go towards that, and getting the KN95 mask and trying to do, you know, the mask breaks, and being able to have like individually portioned meals, and, you know, at lunchtime and all sort of stuff. So really, it's like now that's a new norm on set. But that was the biggest challenge. Really, everything else was really beautiful, and just we had a good, positive on-set environment and good people on board. So
we want to join your set. Come on, that sounds wonderful.
I do have I hire no assholes. Like it's a no assholes
set
with me.
I love
and I continue that. So
I love that. I love that. That, and that's how it should be, right?
I know,
absolutely.
Right? Respectful and professional, and just, you know, having fun to create a good product. So
Well, I mean, making this during all those protocols and obstacles that are in the way, how has it been to have your film like in person, back with an audience, and what's the reaction been?
It's been super good. Like this is, I was saying to Emma, it's like this is the 4th time to support Slump in person, and to be able to actually see and like hear people laughing, because we start out comedic, right? Where we see Sydney creating her viral, you know, comedic video on the university baseball team, and there's all that sexual innuendo jokes and stuff. So it's great to hear people laughing and they're connecting with her, and I think that makes more of a punch when you actually see that, you know, you have that empathy with her and that connection, and then when she actually becomes a victim, it's even more felt, right? And then to actually hear that, you could hear a pin drop in cinemas, right? And I was joking last night how it's like, great, my film was the one that turned the, you know, the cinema feeling like totally, it put a slump in, and then it came back up with the next film because that was comedic, right?
But again, I mean, again, a very important film. I think, you know, people don't realize what hurt, you know, that can put upon someone, and I think the film should be put in it should be everywhere for people to see it, because there's some very cruel people out there. I need to know their actions, but also making people aware as well, as awareness too.
And I feel like if any people have had discrimination, whether it is about the way they physically, like their size, or, you know, their like mental capacities, or, you know, disabilities, or race, or whatever, you can still empathize. And basically, it's a human experience. It's the universality of being hurt and having shame, and in different ways we've all experienced that. And I think hopefully creating that empathetic connection, people get it, to be, you know, just nicer people. Like we've got to be kind and look after each other. It's like you only get one life, and, you know, like you might as well just be a nice person. Like, yes.
There you go, everybody. Be a nice person. No, that's such important advice. It doesn't kill to be kind.
No,
you know? So,
exactly.
What is next for you?
I've got a couple of different things. So working on a feature script for a dark rom-com called Goo, which is about a BIPOC woman's misadventures in modern dating. Somewhat autobiographical, but it has a supernatural twist, because I do like the supernatural.
Oh, nice.
And then, I'm the film director on a theatre film hybrid production that's happening in the winter, and I just finished directing a comedy teaser for a pilot called One Baby Please. that's being produced through the National Screen Institute of Canada. Yeah, and that's been a really amazing experience as well. And we're just going into post.
That's super exciting. Oh my goodness. Well done you. And also because I mean you're doing so many wonderful things. And for all of our audience out there, as a filmmaker, is there any kind of piece of advice you tell yourself, you may have heard, that you kind of go by that sort of helps you and could help others out there as well, the filmmakers?
Yeah, I feel like you've just got to do the best that you can and just, you know, be honest and authentic to yourself and just seriously treat each other with respect and kindness, right? Like be gentle. You don't know what someone else is, you know, going through and just be empathetic. I think that's where we need to be going these days, right? Yeah.
Polly, thank you for the TED Talk.
No, I know, right?
That was beautiful. Thank you very much. But no, a big thank you to your entire cast and crew. You made a very fantastic film, and looking forward to the next project. So thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Polly, everybody.